Welcome to a new episode of Dynamite Delight, ladies and gentlemen. This is a go-home show for Double or Nothing. And the hype is real. I think that would be the best title for this. If you look at this compared to what the WWE gave us, going into Money in the Bank, this show gave better hype. It just does. It just did. Now, is it all great? No, there are things in this show that were not perfect. And I'm easily going to say that there was one thing that truly pissed me off. One truly thing that pissed me off. And it's just something that happened last week. Because I did watch what happened in AEW Dynamite. But as I said, it was not myself. So I just could not bring myself to do the video. But I did watch. And let me explain it when it comes to that moment. First, Moxley versus 10. Was it a good match? Yes. But the thing that made it very good was what happened in the beginning and what happened at the end of that entire segment, before the match and after the match. We have the entire Dark Order. Well, Evil Uno and his partner was not there. But you have Brody Lee comes out with 10 and the others. And he makes it very clear that he's not a god. He's just like everybody else, but he's exceptional. He's elite. He's better than everybody. But he's not a god. And he can inspire. He does not care about himself. He wants to win the championship because he wants to continue inspiring. Yes, he still cares about his determination, his strength, his will, his desire to be the best. But this win is meant for the Dark Order, since he's now restructured it. In other words, fuck everybody. I want what I want. And you're going to listen to what I say because I am God. That's what he really said. In a long-winded way, he said it, but it sounded very good. And we had the match. Good match. 10 did well. But in the end, Moxley wiped the floor with his ass. Then he decides to take 2 chairs into the ring and pretty much says, Brody Lee, I don't give a damn about anything. Give me back my damn title. If you don't give me back my damn title, if you don't come out here right now, I am going to break your man's arm. And then Brody ends up on the Titantron and he says, the greatest must always understand sacrifice. You're not going to get what you want. And sacrifice is needed here. And he leaves. And guess what happens? Moxley breaks 10's arm. Supposedly. I'll say this about this segment. Was it good? Yes, it was. It was straightforward. And it was good. Was it great? No. It wasn't that it was a bad segment, because it wasn't. Seeing that they made sure they had no general interaction was great. That's what made it really great. But I will say this, because Brody Lee has been in the company so... It's too soon for this type of situation. But because of what's been going on, they had to rush this. And for me personally, it's a good segment. It had great parts in it. But because Brody Lee is being pushed in this situation now, going into Double or Nothing, where he should not be pushed into this situation at Double or Nothing, it's too soon. It goes from a great segment going into a pay-per-view to a good one. Because honestly, you really need Moxley to win. But then if Brody Lee loses, it makes him look not credible. So I don't know how they're going to make this work. And that's why this segment went from a great segment to a good one. That's just me. You guys tell me below. MJF. He has a match with Marco Stunt. And it was a good match. I know a lot of people give Marco Stunt a lot of grief. And I understand the reason why. He's comic relief, but he's being pushed very prominently. Now, he's not a Hornswoggle. I'm making it clear. He's not Hornswoggle. He doesn't have some special angle where Hornswoggle was Vince McMahon's son. But he has his place. He had a moment that was really bright. Then it goes away. He comes back again. There's a little bit of balance. I'm not saying there's great balance. I think they still need to work out what they really need to do with Marco Stunt. Particularly that they did do something with Marco Stunt when it came to the Dark Order. I thought that they should have kept that little angle. Saying that Marco Stunt is constantly losing. And finally, he gets so frustrated, he kind of listens to what Brody Lee is saying. And I'm hoping they will go there. But if they dropped it, that's kind of a loss right there. Because if you are going to use Marco Stunt in some storyline, that would be the best one. But Marco Stunt gets his ass kicked. Clear as day. And then he gets cold cocked by the ring of MJF. Good. Now, the reason that MJF is really important here is because of the ladder match. I do believe he's there. And let me put it to you like this. I could be wrong about that match. No, I'm sorry. I'm actually thinking about the match with Jungle Boy and him. And I got him mixed up. I'm going to give you to like this. Seeing he's going to go up against Jungle Boy. Seeing that they should be in a ladder match. That's what I'm thinking. But they're not. It kind of hurts to see that MJF is not going to be in the main title scene. Particularly that the only thing they got for him is just a damn ring. And then Jungle Boy, who could be in the main title scene. But I don't think he needs to be, but he should be pushed again just to show that he can be in time. I know people will say, hey, he's doing great as he is. Well, understand, he's not been seen for a while now because of the pandemic, and we need to reintegrate him just like a MJF. Even though he had great video packages, you need to rebuild them. So yes, this is the go home show for Double or Nothing, but you can do some building. That's just me. You guys tell me below. Now, I just understand that Mike Tyson will be at Double or Nothing. Now, I could make a separate video on this, but I decided I'm just going to combine it with this because it doesn't need to be very long. I'm sure the WWE is not 100% happy with this, and neither is Vince. We all know that Mike Tyson loves wrestling. He still does. The man loves it. And when it comes to this, I know Vince is mad as fuck that Mike has been asked to come here. He's getting paid. He's going to be paid unless he's doing it for free. I don't think he's doing that. And he's going to be involved in Double or Nothing. This is something special. There's no doubts about it. It's special. And I kind of wish, and this is just me, that if Mike gets involved in this, he could come back again and be involved in something special like Private Party. I would love to see Private Party working with Mike Tyson. Not just because they're black, but because Mike is from the hood. Private Party is from the hood. And it's not because they're black. I'm just saying. And that kind of leads me into one other thing, making it brief. One of the members of Crime Time, unfortunately, has passed away due to the fact that he was at the beach. I can't remember his name, but it was not JTG. It was his partner. And unfortunately, he was at the beach. I don't remember where in California, which beach it was. And he was with his child. Unfortunately, he got sucked in through a riptide, and it looks like he has passed away. And I wish to give my condolences to his family. I know I should remember his name, but I always have bad memory when it comes to names, particularly with people I have not seen for a long time or have never seen before. But it's not the point if I remember the guy's name. It's the point that he's remembered. I love Crime Time, and I think I may have a picture of them. These guys were always very entertaining. And I always felt like they could have had more with them. And seeing that he's passed away, it's just sad. So my condolences goes to the family, honestly. So now, we have hopefully a real match coming. And Jake Roberts and an Art Enz. We have the segments of the coaches. When it comes down to it, two great talkers and one of the greatest talkers in a Jake Roberts and a great talker in an Art Enz. And many people will say, well, Art's not one of the greatest talkers. He's not. But because of his great ring work, and he does talk very well in the ring, he is a great all-around performer. So I can say that he's a great talker. They had their moment. Talking about how Archer is going to destroy Cody and destroy AEW. He's going to be champion, and pretty much you see Cody sacrificing his own brother to try and keep away from Archer. Then you got Art pretty much saying you're delusional. You're not going to get anything. And honestly, I want to whoop your ass. So my wish, it counts on how Art is. It seems that Art, I think because he's like this, I think he might have had a stroke. I don't remember if he did or not. I think Art Enz did have a stroke many years ago. So I don't know if he is capable of going in the ring, because sometimes his hand acts like this, it locks up. That usually happens when someone had a stroke. So I don't know if he can actually go in the ring anymore. There's a good chance he can't. But if he could go in the ring and he is safely cleared, he's got to be safe, he's got to be cleared. But if they both can go in the ring, and that's Jake and Art, I know many people would not want to see two old farts, as they would call it, go in the ring and just fall on themselves and not look like they did when they were very young. But in this situation where you don't see Jake get in the ring for nothing, he has barely done anything with mainly wrestling, particularly WWE wrestling. And you got Art, who's always worked in the back. It would be something special to see two Golden Age wrestlers work a very short match. Even if it's only 5 minutes, or better yet, if it's 10 minutes, it's all show. They don't need to actually wrestle one another. They just need to make it look good. See it like this. I want to make this clear. When it comes down to it, yes, it's important to have actual wrestling in pro wrestling. But sometimes there are times when sometimes you can have a match without any major wrestling. Look, there's a reason why Hulk Hogan's loved the most. It wasn't because he was one of the greatest wrestlers, because he was a showman. He knew how to make it interesting. That's how Hulk was. And when it comes to Stone Cold Steve Austin, it wasn't because he was one of the greatest wrestlers. He just knew how to motivate the fans. Yes, there's almost no fans for these two to actually feed off of, but they can still have a good match where it's not about the holds, but it's about the spectacle of two guys who's never gotten to the ring, and with their intelligence, they can come up with a match that has very few holds, but has a story behind it and a spectacle. We could have a 5 to 10 minute match if they go there. It could be 5 minutes. And it could be done in a way where it's not about them beating the crap out of each other, but making it Archer's conscience versus Cody's conscience. That could be it. Not about just talking, but doing something. I gotta say this about Darby Allin's video packages. They really rival WWE stuff. Now, I know a lot of people are gonna say, are you crazy? This guy's maybe 23, 24 years old. You're actually telling me that his videos are better than the greatly crafted WWE stuff? Yes. You know why? One word. Creativity. He has way more creativity than any of the people currently in WWE, and that includes Jeremy Boyage, JB, and not to knock either him or Abyss, Joseph Park, but Joseph Park. These guys do not have the creativity like they used to because of how stringent WWE is. Yes, they had a chance in the last couple of months to really expand themselves similar to what they used to be in Impact Wrestling. But let's be honest, they just don't have it because they're so restricted. They are. There's no way to hide it. So when you look at Darby Allin, who really majored in film and production, you could see the creativity in his work. It's not one of the most incredibly well-crafted things, but it's the most creative. You can feel the creativity. And I loved how he was trying to sponsor the ladder match. The casino ladder match is going to happen in Double or Nothing. Whoever wins it gets a shot at the World Championship. Good. That is good. Now, we had Pac actually do a video package. Short, sweet, to the point, putting over Phoenix for his match against Orange Cassidy's Freshly Squeezed. It felt good to see Pac. I miss the man. He still can't leave Europe because things are still the way they are. It's not cleared out yet. Yes, in New York, things have gotten a little better. It's gotten, well, from what I've seen, we went from almost 300 to 400 people a week dying, now to about 100 to 130 people. That's a good number going down. But still, people are still dying. People are still sick. And it's not just here. Across the world, it's still pretty much you can't travel a lot. So this is what we got. But at least he's still being seen. And I wouldn't mind seeing more video packages from Pac. Or anyone else who's in Canada, who's in Mexico, who is in Europe or Japan. Make those video packages, because at least next to seeing them, we get something that could help the show. And we got the match, which was the best match of the night. Cassidy versus Phoenix. I love this match. And it's not because it's a high-flying match for me personally. Orange Cassidy is a very unique character. It's not that he can't fly high. He tries not to. Just like The Undertaker says, less is more. And at first, he tries to do as less as possible, but then he ramps it up. Which is fine. This is how things can work. Not everyone likes Orange Cassidy, but he has character. And that's way more than you normally get in WWE. That's the truth. In the end, Phoenix gets distracted. No, not Phoenix. I'm sorry. Orange Cassidy gets distracted by Sabian. And then when he loses the match, everyone, well, how many people were there? I think about 5 out of the 8 people or 9 people who's supposed to be in a ladder match show up. So we got like a free-for-all. To be honest, I think they did not need to do this. Honestly, they didn't need to. It was not necessary. It wasn't. Look, sometimes it is necessary to show a little taste of what you're going to get at a pay-per-view. But honestly, this is a cookie-cutter type of thing that the WWE and Impact does. And I kind of wished AEW would not do this. Particularly what happened at the end of the show. So I kind of wish they had not gone there. Now, here's the thing that pissed me off. Flat out angered me. The women's tag match. Sheeta and Statlander versus the Nia Rose and the Britt Baker. Now, understand, it was not the match that pissed me off. It was not the match quality that pissed me off. In fact, I was actually kind of happy because this stream I was looking at, because I had more than a few times the stream dropped and I had to go find another stream. I came across a stream that lets you see everything during the commercials. Where everyone else was watching picture-in-picture and nothing, I was able to see what's actually going on in the ring, which was very refreshing for me personally. I loved it. To actually see them talk, to wrestle, to hear the falls, to hear the noises, it was great. But here's the thing for me. One, I'm not saying Britt Baker actually got hurt, because Sheeta and Statlander threw Nia Rose on top of Britt Baker, and she looked like she might have hurt her knee. Legitimately. I'm hoping nothing happened, and you may think, well, look what happened during the match. She didn't want to get involved or go into the ring. No. Once Nia Rose was thrown flat out, but in her face, there was a good possibility that Britt Baker might have actually gotten hurt. I'm hoping not, because it looked like she might have hurt her, her right knee or the left knee? I think it might have been her left knee, but I could be wrong. You guys tell me below. But that was one thing that I was not too happy about. Now, Nia Rose pinned Shida. And then they did the thing I wish they hadn't done. And Nia Rose was bringing in a table, and she was going to throw Shida into it. But Shida managed to throw Nia Rose into it. And I think that was also a bad move. Very bad move. Just like what happened with Cassidy and Phoenix at the end, where they actually had everybody come in and make it seem like it's part of the ladder match, that like a teaser. This is the same thing. It's like 50-50 booking. I do not agree with it. They did not have to have Nia Rose try to throw her into a table, and then Nia got thrown in that table instead. I think that was not wise. It seemed to be a little bite off of all the other companies, and they could have just gone from it. That's just me. You guys tell me below. But that was, not the second thing, but the injury of Baker didn't upset me. That just concerned me. Seeing this upset me. But what upset me more than anything was Shida herself. Hanaya, I can't pronounce her name. Shida, last week, spoke English. She's in my face. I am fucking angry. I don't care who is the one who's doing this. Either Kenny Omega, Cody, Brandi. I don't care who it is. The woman can speak basic English. She may not be fluent in it, but she can speak English and it sounded proper. Why hasn't there been a vignette of her telling her story? Why have we not heard her on Dynamite? I don't give a fuck about Dark. Dark can kiss my ass. As much as I would like to see Dark have some of the other titles put over there, and they promote the women there, and then they put Dark and Dynamite onto a pay-per-view and make it good, which I think would be the wisest thing for it. I don't give a damn about Dark. She's on Dynamite. She should be given a vignette or video in English because she can speak English, not Japanese. Why the fuck they don't do it? Why? I want to smack the shit out of somebody. That's how angry I am. When I saw it, when I was not myself, and I saw that, when she did that interview after the match she had, I was outraged. I was mad. You get my point. Finally, Guevara versus Matt Hardy to kind of get revenge about what happened with Vanguard. When I saw Vanguard 1 last week destroyed, I was like, no, why did you destroy Vanguard 1? That was one of my favorite things. And I hope they get another Vanguard. Maybe Vanguard 2 or Vanguard Jr. I'm hoping they do Vanguard 2.0. Something. I want to see Vanguard back. But once I saw that, I was just upset. And seeing Matt Hardy upset really worked. The video package they had to talk about how Matt was going to get revenge on what happened, and now knowing they're going to have a stadium match where 10 on 10, anything goes in a football stadium, it's very compelling. We had the match. Most of it was outside. Others was inside. I think outside was a lot better than inside. Matt, at 27 years in the business, because they made it very apparent that he was in there, he still goes very well. But here's the thing that got me. Once Matt won the match, you see Matt was going to hurt Guevara because of Vanguard 1. Then you see Chris about to destroy Kenny in the stadium, in the football stadium, and that Matt runs out. They somewhat nail Kenny. The Bucks come out. Then Hangman Page runs sprinting down that entire... The man was sprinting from that football field all the way and nailed everybody in boots. The man can run. But why did they have to do the stadium? I don't agree with it. Just like what happened with Nia Rose and what happened with the match after Phoenix and Cassidy, 3 teasers on a go-home show. I don't agree with it. Not because you can't have teasers, but because sometimes it should be special. And I know people are going to say, well, it's special. No, it's not. It's not because there are 3 of them. It's because, essentially speaking, you should do it very rarely. And I know you're going to say, well, this is very rarely. We don't know that. I just saw a whole bunch of teasers from the WWE and Impact Wrestling. They always do it. And yes, this is probably the first time they're doing a teaser. And this time they did it with 3 matches they're setting up. But honestly, I'd rather they did not do it. If they were going to do it at the end of the end of the year, I can understand it. Something special. But I understand why they had to do it here, because everything is being built around Double or Nothing. It's important. But I'm just hoping that this is once a year they do teasers, maybe twice a year. If they do it like the WWE and Impact, I'm not going to agree with it. I'm just thinking they're going to be cookie cutter. This is just me though. This was a good go-home show. The hype is real. I guess I'm going to use the title for that. Because you can feel it here. They got a loud audience. Yes, I don't care if there's a mix between real audience and wrestlers. You can feel it with a real people there. That helped so damn much. But this is just me. You guys tell me below. Have a good day. Have a good night. And I will be getting my Superpower review done. I just wasn't able to do it today. I'm going to see if I can do it tomorrow. I really want to do it tomorrow. Hopefully you'll like it. Peace.